Hey coaches, welcome back. This is Coach Parker with CoachParker.org. How are you guys doing today? Today I got a video on my best football coaching resources, about 50 books, media, forums, links, etc. And I'm going to go through that. It's an article over at CoachParker.org, and I thought I would do a video about that, maybe even turn it into a podcast, since there's a lot of good information here, especially if you're into looking at old books and hitting websites and that kind of thing. And I thought I'd turn it into a video because I know some of you guys don't like to read just every day kind of thing, would rather kind of watch it or listen to it. This is probably one of those more listening to, so if you want to do that, that's good. Hey, before we get started, please subscribe at the button below, hit the notify, and subscribing really helps the channel, and please leave a comment if you get a chance. That I've heard that really even does almost as good as subscribing. So if you get a chance, just leave me a quick, hey, Coach Parker, how are you, down in the comments. That's easy, free, and really helps me out a lot if you think this video was helpful. So I've got a library of about 250 football coaching books, not just youth football coaching books, but I'm into buying old football coaching books and looking through those, especially since a lot of them are focused on the run, and that's what youth football is all about, basically. And there's a lot of good information in these about blocking and tackling and everything. So a lot of wisdom in those books, and so that's what I've kind of gone through, is picked out my favorites, and then my favorite DVDs, some websites and things like that I've used. I know you guys probably have a lot of newer stuff out there, and there's a link that you can suggest stuff to me so I can take a look at it. But these are the ones that I keep coming back to every season. We'll look things up and kind of look through those. And of course, those are over and above than my stuff over here. The Jaws blocking book, Power Wing Beast Offense, Wildcat. So of course, that's all my favorite stuff. And really, all of these materials have kind of helped me build my playbooks and drill books and things like that, and what I sell. So if you want to get like some more of the base information, this is kind of where those resources are coming from. So let's get to my favorite resources that I use every year. And I tell you, one of my favorite youth football authors that I started reading back in 2006 or 7 was Coach Reed, and he's got a book, couple of books, but his coaching youth football book, which is right here over at johntreed.com, is really one of my favorite books. Now, he's not for everybody, because he's even a little bit more ornery than I am, but and he very set in his ways. But like, when you go through all these books, or at least for me, you know, I don't take everything in. I take things that really are going to work for how I want things to work in my system. So I leave things out that, hey, you know, this is not really going to work for me, but whatever. So when you read a book, you don't have to say, oh, 100% I have to do. No, that's not how I do it. The second book, and this book probably has become, and it's a squirrely, weird little book. It's called Coaching Football in the Split T Offense. And don't let that Split T Offense thing get in the way, by Tatum and Gase. And you can get it over at Amazon here. And all of these have links to my Amazon affiliate program too. So I make a little tad off of those if you shop through my links here, but you don't have to. But this book, it actually is, they've got a newer version here. I guess they republished it here. If it has single wing, double wing, and a couple other little offenses in there, along with the split T, that goes over pretty good blocking stuff. And I come back to those. A couple of the pass patterns that have done really well for me in youth football, I've pulled out of this particular book. So I really keep going back to this thing. It's kind of funny. I catch myself always pulling that book out the first time. The third book here is the Spread Formation Football by Dutch Myers. Now, you know, he's the inventor of spread football. There it is right there. I actually got a copy of that and was lucky enough to get it. It is an amazing book, and I highly recommend it if you're going to try to move into the spread formation football. Now, it's not the air raid spread. It's more of a running wildcat spread, and really loved it. Another book, which I got many, many years ago, is Scouting Methods by Bill Belichick. This book right here is amazing. Highly recommend that for any new coach out there. And we can move on to some of the newer books here. Another great book that I've had probably for 10 years is Radar Blocking. And this book is just absolutely amazing to go over any and all blocking calls you could ever think of, rules, kind of how would you do it against certain certain defenses. Goes way into it. And if you look at it from a defensive standpoint versus there's a lot of information you can glean for that. I keep going back to that every year again. And then, of course, for youth football coaches, there's Winning Youth Football by Dave Caesar, and I think you can buy those now. If you actually search for a PDF on the internet, you may actually find it out there. For some reason, I don't know what's going on there with his site, but something's there. But Winning Youth Football, that particular book from Dave, and he's got some videos and stuff, but that first main book really is a great book for general coaching, and it's mainly a single wing book. Same thing with kind of John Reed, but they're overall on how to run a team, how to do things, how to do drills and stuff. Very, very effective. Now, this next book, The Toss, by Jerry Valaton here, a friend of mine in 2007 told me to take a look at this, and I bought the playbook and the book, and I go back to that almost every year. It's great. The playbook actually, with it is an amazing source of plays and information. It's very similar to the spin offense I was kind of doing. That was more of a spready kind of thing, and then between the toss, the spin, Gregory double wing, and Wyatt stuff, and some others. Single wing stuff I kind of put in, and that's what my speed formation is kind of come from, is an amalgamation of all of those. But the toss here, if you're running a traditional single wing, is pretty amazing. Coaching Football by Tom Flores. I didn't like it at first, but this is another book that I keep coming back to every season. It has a lot of good information about some of the older formations and really just skills. And if you can see, it says out of stock here, but if you hit the used paperback thing, it'll bring up all of these used books. And I buy most of my stuff used, especially the football books. So I go for good and very good and good. I don't go below good. So I've gone a couple of times below and used below good, and the books aren't that great. So there's that. And then this, of course, Rex Ryan's 46 defense. This book was really a main, and there's a couple of them, but kind of a main thing for my defensive book. What I was wanting to do, moving in and out, and really teaching how to move in. So this is for any defensive coordinator. This should be a definite book that you guys review. And let's get back out of here. Oh, and this is it looks like that book. Let me see if I can find it. Looks like somebody might have bought it. Nope, there it is right there. Looks like I got a bad link, so I'll have to correct that. But this book here, I've actually got two of these now because I've worn the first one out that was used. This is pretty much for formations on defense and how they work for, this is just an amazing book here. Highly recommend. You can see hardcover is $104, but you can get them used for $11. So go down there and take a look at that. But looks like I need to update that link over here. This book here, this championship football book by Bible, has a lot of the old single wing plays that Caesar and others are touting out there. And this book was from 1949. It's got a bunch of different single wing formations in it. So if you're a single wing guy, This book here has kind of become my reference on single wing. Really love it. So it's Championship Football by Dana Bible, and it's almost the Bible of single wing. Really love this book. It's a newer book in my collection. As you can see, I bought it in 2018, but that book really comes back to me quite a bit. Let's see, and this offensively, this book. I don't know. I love this book. The wing tee is similar to the single wing and the double wing, and I don't run a wing tee, but this book has a lot of, because it's multiple based, a lot of movement and plays and everything in there that I really love. And you can see I bought it in 2011, so yeah, I keep coming back to this and looking at it as a reference on what I would do and how I would do a trap or whatever in certain things. So really love this Coaching a Wing Tee Multiple Offense by Schroyer. Another really good book. And if you guys are listening to me, I'm clicking on Amazon links and going over, because that's where I buy most of my books. But here's a non-Amazon link. One of my favorite places to go is Dumb Coach Youth Football Forums, and it's actually pretty much through high school. There's a ton of coaches on here, all these general discussions. It used to be better. They've moved it, and I think they've lost some of their data, but you can find some coaches over here that can pretty much help you with anything. So highly recommend that forum there. A couple of friends and I hang over there. And then, of course, for linemen, have always loved this book. Purchased that. I've got another one by Trinket. So Coaching Offensive Linemen. This one's by Christensen. And there's another one, I think, that's called Complete Offensive Linemen. I really should have put those two together. That's kind of what are my favorites there. So you've got that. So those are kind of my top 15 out of the 250 or so resources that I have that I like. Now, if you're looking for just youth football, and those were the favorites out of everything, and we'll go through this real quick. But I already talked about Winning Youth Football. That's by Caesar. Yeah, I'd take a look at that. By Power Wing Beast Offense, my stuff in the 6'2 Multi-8. Definitely look at those. Those are some of the best resources in youth football. You know, Dave talks about the 6'2, but my 6'2 book goes kind of like on steroids about some other stuff. My Power Wing Beast Offense, it is the beast, but it's got eye in a kind of a box formation and a offset eye and a diamond formation in there, along with the double wing. So it's a multi-offense for football, so that's also good. The toss, if you want to run traditional double wing and just that offense, I think Coach Volaton's book's good there. For just general coaching, you've got Reed's book, Coaching Youth Football, and Flora's Coaching Football. Those are really good youth football coaching books that I recommend, and they're sort of focused on the youth football coach. There's another book that didn't make the list, but it's by Tom Bass. If you can think you can find it, Play the NFL Way. In that particular book, he goes through all these different positions and kind of how to play those, and that's an interesting book. It didn't get on my list because I don't look back at it very much, but for some newer coaches, that might be the case. So let's go to DVDs now before we jump back into books. Now, some of these youth football DVDs I really love, and these are the ones. This Becoming a Youth Football Lineman here, love this guy. Becoming a Quarterback, the Booty guy, and I've lost this one because it's so good, but absolutely love that tape. This double wing angle block thing, love this by Jack Gregory and his whole package. If you want to run double wing, and he's got a whole package of stuff down here. The Sonny Detmer thing on Throw the Right Way, absolutely amazing little video here. Dale Weiner Spin Offense. This is one of my first. Well, this is one of the first video series that I bought on how to. Now, this is really related to a high school thing. I moved it down with the toss and Gregory double wing so that I'm kind of running a more double wing, but kind of what he's got in there. So it's amalgamation of what I've got, but really like all the concepts that are going in there. The air raid offense, I did this for my older 12 to 14-year-old team back in Denver. So those are got ideas. We're not running that totally, but there's ideas on routes and what to do there. And that's helped out on 7-on-7, actually. And then, of course, the whole Gregory double wing package, along with Jerry, Coach Valentin and stuff. There is a ton of great information in here. So those are just really, really good. Highly recommend those. And you don't have to buy all of this. I've accumulated this information over 20 years or so. So here's some. So out of the 250 books in my library, and I'm not going to click on links here, I'm just going to read those off. So we've already talked about the scouting methods by Belichick. We talked about coaching football and split T by Tatum and Geese. Spread formation by Myers. Coaching the wing T by Schroyer. Offensive lineman by Dave Christensen. This should have actually, I don't know how this one didn't get up to my favorite. Oh, it did. Coaching team defense by Shermer. I don't think I went over that well enough. This coaching team defense book by Fritz Shermer, man, I just took a look at it again just to look at it. It is highlighted all the way through. It is a diamond, jewel, ruby of the first magnitude. So if you're a defensive coordinator, there's 3 books on here by Shermer. You need to get all 3 of them. I just love his stuff. Along with this Drew Tallman book, Directory of Football Defenses. There's also a complete book of drills by Kohler, which is great, which I always refer back to because it's got like 100 drills or so in there. There's a book by David Nelson, Football Principles in Play. It's an older book. It was on my list a long time ago. I kept it on here. I don't use it as much, but it was on an older list, so I made it go here. I got a special teams book by Beamer here, which is really good. This Football Best Offensive Playbook, I've probably had almost 30 years now by Hawks. I go back to that quite a bit. I like the way it's laid out, and it's just a bunch of best plays by different coaches that they've put together. It's really good. The 46 defense again here. This diamond formation running plays by Leo Hand. I've got a lot of stuff by Leo Hand. You'll see. I really like this diamond. It's basically a pistol plays and then the trig diamond stuff that I use. So I go over that a lot. I like that a lot. And then, of course, there's the Run and Shoot Football by Tiger Ellison, which is amazing. Oklahoma Split Football. Wilkinson's great. This John McKay book, I keep coming back for that. That's got a lot of I formation stuff in it. I keep coming back for that. Handbook for Winning Football, just overall general football stuff by Coach Allen on the Redskins is great. I've had this 4-4 split book by Roman forever, so that's on the list. Here are the 2 other Shermer books, the Eagle 5 and Coaching the Defensive Line. That defensive line book is really good. Then I've got Vince Lombardi on football, and that's just great to read through and see what he's doing on his plays. A new book to the collection I've got is this Michigan State Multiple Offense by Munn, which was actually, I think, some stuff out of that Tatum book, Geese book, the Split T Coaching Football. So that's good because it's a multiple. I'm into multiple both on offense and defense. And then this Leo Handbook again, the 3-3-5 defense. I run kind of a 5-3, 3-3-5 kind of move. It's very similar, so I like concepts in there. Here's the Trickett book on the complete offensive lineman. There's this multiple power I offense. I grew up in high school running that offense, so I like that book. That's probably why I'm biased. And again, the championship football book by Dana Bible. Just really good. Really, really like that. So, and a lot of these, I think Myers, a lot of these you can get for $20 and under. There's a couple of them that are tougher to get. The Myers book and the Tiger Ellison and maybe the Wilkinson kind of get up into the $100 range. But if you've got that for a Christmas gift or whatever, or search for some like not as good copies, they're just fair copies versus good or really good, you might be able to get into them. You can also search online to see if they're in libraries or digitized. Here's some coaching websites. I don't go to a lot of new websites other than my own at coachparker.org. and YouTube. But there's a ton out there, and some compete with me, so I didn't totally put them on here. But you can search that through Google. But here's USA Football, Dumb Coach, Glazier, American Football Monthly, X&O Labs. I seem to go back. It's very high end, but I like it. The Cool Clinic is really the coaching offensive O-lineman. They sell DVDs and hold clinics. That's for some really high-end lineman stuff. Used to like it a lot. Now I don't use it as much because I've gained all that knowledge. Coach Tube is kind of like a YouTube for coaches where they do their own videos. You've got American Football Coaches Association. You've got my site. Of course, you've got YouTube and search there. You got Huddle. Coach Wyatt is a guy that I've went to a long time ago. Kicking World's a friend of mine. Over on Facebook, you can hit off his stuff. My Coach Online is some other stuff I see every now and then. And Coach's Clinic is another kind of coaches doing videos clinic, so you can take a look at that. If you've got a site and you want to list it here, you can look in the green. There's my contact form. Just hit me up. Some honorable mentions. I don't really go to these very much, but there's Go Army Edge. They do a lot of. It's a free site where you can draw plays. There's Playmaker Football, another draw play. That used to be a game that I used to develop the Beast, actually. That's where I got it from. There's Championship Productions, which I've bought a ton of videos from there for football and baseball and basketball. So you can head over there. Same thing with Coach's Choice. Bunch of videos that you can buy. Just head over there if you're looking for things. And then here's some books that I've read about coaches, by coaches, or just about football in general, which I like. Swing Your Sword by Leach. Really love that book. The Perfect Pass by Gwen. They sent that to me to review. I actually like that book a lot. I'm a Cowboys fan. Grew up in Texas outside of Dallas. So Tom Landry autobiography. I know the Paterno book is really not politically correct right now, but enjoyed that book quite immensely. The Vince Lombardi Playbook by Barber is kind of an overall autobiography, what's going on with his team kind of stuff. That was really good. And then this Essential Smart Football by Brown I thought was really interesting on the history of football and some of the strategic things that have occurred. So those are my 50 or so that I have really honed into over the years. And, you know, I'm kind of ending my coaching career at 56. I'm pretty much done for youth football. This probably, this season or next season may be my last for sure. So these are the ones that I've used. I'm sure there's some new stuff. Like I said, if there is, send me some links, comment in the forums, let me know what you think. Again, please subscribe to the channel. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, leave me some comments below and tell me why you didn't like it. Share it if you want to share it with some other coaches on your team. Please leave me a comment too. Just say hello, Coach Parker, love the video or whatever if you thought it was good for you. So, yeah, so those are my best football coaching resources, 50 or so. Hope you enjoyed the video. Again, this is Coach Parker with CoachParker.org. Remember to play for fun, and winning is funner. Stay safe. I will see you guys on the next show. Ciao.